What's good, everybody? It's your boy, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker, and we're here to not just talk about some of Kyle Shanahan's comments on the quarterback situation, Trey Lance, but I gotta apologize, all right? And I'm gonna apologize something for y'all like right away. I also want to discuss this whole movie thing, like Napoleon Dynamite. When did that become a classic, and why is it a classic? All right. So we're gonna talk about a few different things. I'm gonna try to keep everything under control, get us in and out of here in what an hour from now. But first and foremost, man, I want to appreciate everybody for tuning in and again, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Funny thing, my daughter and I was trying to cut the little clip. That's why I'm like slightly late right now. I was lifting weights at the gym, and my daughter was in there, and I was doing some deadlifts, and she goes in front of the camera and says, "Like and subscribe this video," and I'm like, "Oh man, I gotta cut that, clip it, and put that on my soundboard." So y'all definitely will be hearing that. It was my daughter, and I ain't tell her to do this, but these kids that grow up in a different day and age, right? Like they're on YouTube. She's on YouTube. She watches these little kids play or whatever the hell she's looking at, and it's it's funny to for her to just out of nowhere, right? I'm just getting ready to live. I saw her go in front of the camera. I didn't know what she said, and I even posted this video to Twitter, and somebody had commented on there, like and subscribe to this video, and I thought he was just being funny. And then someone else was like, "Oh man, your daughter's funny for saying that." And I didn't even know what she had said. So that was really funny that the wife, that the wife, that the daughter said that. So I'm gonna make sure I cut that clip and put that out there so you guys will be hearing about that. Uh, I want to apologize to y'all. And I was talking to one of my homies today, and I was like, Chris, I got to be real. I I really pride myself on being, super authentic, real North Stockton, all that, right? And keeping it real with y'all on everything, just how I see things, and just my opinions, and then have a conversation off of that. And I feel like at some point, maybe I've always done it, but I really realized as of late I've been doing it. It's not so much that I play to the fans. I don't think I 100% like just tell y'all how I truly, truly, truly feel. Like with like 100% authenticity. I think I sometimes use a play of words to kind of describe it, but I don't think to the extent of how I truly want to come across. So I think I probably play too much to the audience, to the chat, instead of just giving a 100% authentic. This is my views on it. This is what I think. And then, hey, let me hear y'all how y'all think. And I'm very open to that as well. All right. So I'm definitely going to get more to that. And I think it starts with, if I'm going to be real, I got to keep it all the way a buck. We got to talk about Napoleon Dynamite. Listen, y'all, Napoleon Dynamite, and I watched it when I was in high school. We probably watched Napoleon Dynamite. I mean, I can't tell you how many times, 10 times, 11 times, 12 times. I don't know how many times, but we watched Napoleon Dynamite a ton. And because we watched it a ton, and I was surprised by this pushback I got on my tweet about Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear is, I was halfway through the movie and I'm just like, this is stupid. Like, why am I watching it? And there were some parts that made me laugh when the guy was on that gazebo at the top, and how he got stuck and he didn't know how he's gonna get down. Like there was some parts where it's like, okay, it's fun. Like there's some humorous parts. And I compared it to Napoleon Dynamite. And I'm like, this movie is terrible and it might be the worst movie I've seen since Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon Dynamite and Cocaine Bear were so bad that they were like kind of funny. And talking to my guy Mike Andrews on Twitter, and he's like, you kind of got to put these bad movies in their own category. So instead of looking at Cocaine Bear or Napoleon Dynamite as this movie that's supposed to be good, it's just supposed to be so stupid that is funny, and or that is good. And I guess I'll put them in that category. You can't tell me Napoleon Dynamite is a good movie. There are things like, gosh, Pedro, vote for Pedro. Like, look, there's all the little things you could say, and I remember it years later. All right, it's been like 15, 16, 17 years or however long since I've been in high school. So I still remember parts, so there must have been something good about it. But I don't know. Terrible movie. Terrible movie. But I think it's just supposed to be bad. And I think Cocaine Bear supposed to be bad. The scary movies where they're terrible, but they're funny. They take my strong hand, right? Like they're stupid, but I guess they're funny, and that's what makes it cool. So, uh, my guy NBN Pineapple says Napoleon Dynamite isn't that bad. Napoleon Dynamite's terrible. What is it even about? What is Napoleon Dynamite about? If you watch, he said if you ain't high, watch those dumb movies. They ain't funny. Yeah. So and I don't smoke, so maybe that's part of it. But I hear y'all. Napoleon Dynamite is a classic. Napoleon Dynamite is a classic for being a dumbass movie. It's a dumb movie. Real quick before we get into my 49ers stuff, we definitely can talk about Ja Morant a little bit. I think a lot of people you see it and it's like, dang, it's stupid, right? And I heard Jalen Rose kind of, go on and he talked about how when he was young, there wasn't social media around, but he did a lot of stupid stuff. And it's really hard. I look back to when I was 23 years old, 24 years old. I did a lot of stupid stuff. And it's easy to just say, oh, he's immature. One thing that I want to make perfectly clear when it comes to these athletes and it's like, oh, the money, right? Like the money that they make, and you got so much at stake, you're supposed to do better. They're not going to do better because in their eyes, in their head, like that money was always coming. And the one thing I really took away from my time in the NFL was these guys are normal people. They're normal people. So whatever stupid stuff they would do, or smart stuff they would do, or humanitarian stuff they would do, they still will do those same things. So if they were a church going, money giving, donating person, they're going to just do more of that at the professional level, NBA, NFL, whatever. They're just going to do more of that. If they were somebody that wants to go to the strip club and trick on a bunch of women, they're just going to do more of that at those levels. If there's somebody that's going to flash a gun for whatever reason, no matter how stupid it is, they will do those same things. They just do. The kids are dumb. They do stupid stuff. And at some point, hopefully they grow out of it. And we've seen that. Sometimes you have to go to a certain extent to get them to kind of stop doing the stupid stuff. Like I remember Des Bryant when Des was coming up. Remember they had to basically give him a babysitter. Y'all remember that? They had to give Des Bryant a babysitter for whatever reason. Does Des Bryant need a babysitter now? No. But when he was young, he did. And Ja Morant, he might just need a babysitter. He does a lot of stupid stuff. They need to tell him, look, you do stupid stuff, so we're not going to trust you to be mature enough to not do these stupid things. So we're just going to put somebody with you all the time. Anytime you're out, you're going to have this security person with you. And he just does stupid stuff. Now, I don't think anybody would come on here and be like, Croc, you are very immature. You are very stupid, right? Now, sometimes, you're talking about the Warrior fans might have a different take on that, right? Warrior fans might have a different take. But when I was younger, 23, 24, I did some stupid stuff. I've said on here before, I ran in and robbed stores. Croc, why are you robbing stores? Right? Like stupid, like just stupid, right? Got pulled over for DUI. Not once, but twice. And I didn't get like a high level, like it wasn't like a above the thing. It was like drinking and you drove. All right. But it was stupid. And it happened in a short period of time. Now I haven't gotten in trouble since. I damn near haven't got pulled over since. But there was this time where I did some stupid stuff. Very, very, very stupid that I'm not proud of. Not proud of at all. And I talk about those things. I'm very open with it. When I go do speaking engagements at high schools, I talk about those instances that really could have derailed a lot of the things that I did in life, right? And or even worse. And we see what happened with Henry Ruggs and all that, right? I was very stupid, immature, all that, very dumb. And I go through those things now, right? So when I look at Ja Morant, I really like at some point he'll stop doing the stupid stuff. But until he does, they need to give him a babysitter or they need to put somebody with him. It's just they need to do something. I had some people talk to me and stuff like that, and I think that probably helped. But when I was younger, man, a lot of stupid stuff. Now, the stupidest stuff I do now is probably troll Warrior fans. It's probably the stupidest stuff that I do. But when I was young, I did a lot of stupid stuff. And I ain't saying it's cool. I ain't saying that's okay. I'm just saying they got to figure out how to control that situation. And it ain't just gonna be just him all of a sudden making smart decisions. They gotta put somebody with him, not his dad, somebody else. Like the organization has to, if they want to protect their investment, organization got to put something with them. See, JT says can't gaslight other people to justify bad behavior. Hey, I ain't justifying anything. I'm telling you why. Like he's dumb, he's immature, he's like a dumb kid. That's why he's doing stupid stuff. You probably did stupid stuff, but maybe just not to that extent. But you maybe did some stupid stuff, right? Again, so I talked about my time in the league. Like I saw a lot of stuff, and I'm like, why would this person? Like, why would Aaron Hernandez kill people? He just signed a big contract. He's just a murderer. Like I don't know, just stupid. Why would you do that? Hopefully, and I'm not Aaron Hernandez. That's a different story. But with some of these things that these guys are doing, that's stupid. You just hope you mature a little bit. He said, my son is a kid. Ja is a full grown man. He's not a full grown man. 22, 23 years old. Listen, who I was. Now, maybe, look, David, maybe you're different. But who I was at 22, 23 years old is a drastically different person than who I am at 35 going on 36. Who I was at 22, 23 was drastically different than the person I was at 25, 26. And from 26 to 28. And then from 28 to 30. There just kept being like these different jumps in my development of my brain for whatever reason. Maybe that takes longer than others. Maybe, David, you just always been very mature. And I have a son. I got two boys, right? Same age. One's my stepson. And they are drastically different in their development in different ways. One, I can trust to fly across the country on his own, but I can't trust him to drive my car alone. The other one, I could trust him to drive my car alone, but I can't trust him to drive across the country or fly across the country alone. One won't get in trouble. The other one is more, hey, wants to be cool. They are so drastically different. Like I see two boys, the exact same age. So, David, your maturity was better than mine and Jaws and a lot of other people that do stupid stuff when they were young. And there's just some people that just not. So, John, somebody got to get, hey, we're gonna take everything out of your hands and we're gonna put this person with you. Now, if you don't want that, then we'll just do away with you. I'm pretty sure they don't want to do that with their investment. But there has to be something in place and take it out of his hands like they did Des Bryant. All right, like they did Des Bryant. So he said right here, I'm 38. I still don't have my own spot. I don't think having your own spot, I don't think that means that you're like immature. You just don't have your own spot. I got my own spot. All right, definitely want to talk about that. And well, I didn't actually come on here to talk about it, but I got a question about it, so I wanted to ask. Shout out to my guy Mike Shields in the chat. It's been a while since I've seen Mike's name in here. He says, once you get handed that type of responsibility, you better mature up quick. You would hope so. But again, Mike, I just saw it. And if you don't mature up quick, then you'll find yourself out the league. But what I saw was the guys, they were always the guy. So the money part of it, that's just like what comes with what they always thought they'd get, right? Ja Morant, he's probably been dogging dudes on the basketball court since he was 14, 15, and people probably been telling him the whole time, man, Ja, you are going to make it to the NBA. You're going to make a lot of money. Then he went to college, and he's dogging dudes. It's like, Ja, you're going to be a lottery pick. Then he gets to the NBA, and it's like, Ja, you're going to make a lot of money. And it's like, well, of course, this has been the case since I was 15 years old. I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming. Mike Vick, good job, Jeep Crackcock. Jeep, I saw your text too. I got to respond. But Mike Vick is a prime example, right? And it's like terrible. And he got caught up in some stuff that was kind of a culture of whatever they did. Bad, right? But they're fighting dogs. I never fought dogs. They're into that, whatever. I don't get it. I don't understand it. My wife got a little snorky. It's like a Yorkie and a snorky. I don't know. It's this little dog. I couldn't imagine fighting her little dog. All right. But people come from whatever. And Mike Vick got caught up in that stuff. And it was terrible. And it cost him a lot. You know what I'm saying? So you would hope that at some point Ja Morant would mature, but he hasn't. All right, y'all. We are 15 minutes in and we ain't talked about no 49ers, but we're going to get into the 49ers now. And part of me getting into the 49ers, I came on here and, there's over 200 people in here now. It was not when I first got in here. I said, I'm doing a bad job of really being real and authentic with y'all, like really giving y'all my 100% honest opinion. And I give it, but I give it kind of in a sugar-coated way. So now I'm going to start just keeping it real. And with me keeping it real, I hope y'all keep it real. Y'all come on here. We talk about it, right? Me giving my opinion, that's not Bible. We just on here and we're talking about it, different thing, and then I get to hear y'all perspective on it, and we do that every show. So if you want to kill me for some of the things I say, don't kill me. Just come on and talk about it. I would prefer that. I would prefer that because that's what this is for. All right. Kyle Shanahan. They had the state of the franchise thing, and Kyle goes on there and he's talking about the quarterback position. And obviously, I mean, we talk about that ad nauseum, right? I mean, the Trey Lance, the Jimmy Garoppolo, then now Trey Lance and Brock Purdy. And I can tell y'all a lot of times how I feel about it in the sense of, what they do. But I'm going to tell y'all 100% like what I would like. All right. So this is what Eric Crocker would like. And then I'll discuss kind of where they are with it. This is me again. I'm trying to become more honest. I want Trey Lance to start, and this has nothing to do with a Trey Lance fan club. You see that these Trey fanboys and all that. Ooh, has nothing to do with any of that. I want Trey Lance to start because I think he has the highest potential of anybody in that 49ers quarterback room. Potential gets you fired, so maybe I will get fired for this. But in my opinion, you want that consistent success at the highest level for the 49ers. You better hope that Trey Lance is good. Like, that's what you would want. Because Brock Purdy, being honest here, he's cool. He's cool. I like him. Reminds me of Kirk Cousins and Jimmy G and those guys. Reminds me of those guys. It's cool. It's very hard to win with them. And it's going to be hard to win. And when I say win, I ain't talking about win games. I'm talking about win a fucking Super Bowl. That's what y'all want, right? And you got to be able to play at a certain level in your game. You got to raise it to this certain level and this certain extent to really get there and be that guy consistently. And when I watch just guys are as good in this and what it takes and what you might have to overcome, bro, it's hard. It is hard. You can, I don't want to say luck into one, but you can get carried to one, right? We saw Jimmy Garoppolo get carried to Super Bowl. See, I'm being honest now. Here we go. I'm being honest. We saw Jimmy get carried to Super Bowls. I can sugarcoat it. The defense was so good. Why would they throw the ball anymore when they could rely on the run game? They took the ball out of his hands. That's what happened. I don't care if Mostert ran for 1,000 yards in the game. They took the ball out of Jimmy G's hands. He threw the ball eight times in the game. An NFL quarterback. We don't see that in perfect conditions. You know how I know the conditions were perfect? Because I was there. I was at the NFC Championship game. It was nice. It got a little cold. Temperature started dropping a little bit. It got a little cold later in the game. But it was nice. All right. And they took the ball out of his hand. They said, we're not going to throw, but you're going to keep running it because you're not that guy, Jimmy. All right. And Jimmy's cool. Solid quarterback. You can win a lot of games with him. We saw that. Does things very well. Cool. I view Brock Purdy the same. I think he's in that same tier of guys. Now, interesting, I don't think that Trey Lance is in the tier of Brock Purdy right now in the sense of how he's playing. But I know one thing. I don't watch some of the things he's able to do. And I talked about arm strength with guys like my guy, Dak Prescott, right? And Dak Prescott, I watched him one time and he threw this drive route. It was like a seam. It was like a seam route up to seam. And he didn't quite have enough arm to complete that pass. It just didn't have enough of it. Made the right decision. Threw a pass that is outside of what he's just capable of doing. That's not his thing, right? And I remember thinking, you don't need a big arm until you need a big arm. There are a lot of people, you don't need a big arm. Look, Brock Purdy, he don't need a big arm. He can do this, do that. You don't until you do need it. And that's the same thing with the elite quarterbacks or guys with that type of ability. You don't need it until you need it. And when you need it, it's a lot of times it's when the shit's on the line. All right? It's when it's all on the line. So I say this about Trey Lance. He better be good. And you better be rooting for him. Because if not, we're going to keep having these same conversations every single offseason about how we win a lot of games. We're good. And then it's like, oh, you get there. Then we're going to blame Kyle Shanahan. We're going to blame Jaquiski Tart for a dropped interception. We're going to blame all these other things because we don't have a quarterback that when the shit hits the fan and you need that next level ability, you need that that guy that just will not take no for an answer. You don't got it. So you better hope that Trey Lance is good. All right. You better hope that. Now, Kyle Young, did Drew Brees need a big arm? Drew Brees, he started to need a big arm because the moment, first of all, he won one Super Bowl and then got his ass kicked by Niners and all these other guys after that. One Super Bowl, cool. It wasn't even him. It was he did a good job of kind of outdoing Peyton Manning in that game for the most part. But Tracy, what was his name? What was his name, y'all? Tracy, the cornerback for the Saints. He got a pick six. That won them the game. The pick six. All right. So, anyways, but yeah, Breeze, always good. You can always have an always good guy. How many conference championship games did Drew Brees go to? Hey, babe. How many conference championships did Drew Brees go to? Listen, solid quarterback, gonna go to the Hall of Fame. There was a little something missing. And when you see consistency, you know what I'm saying? They talk about the arm strength of Tom Brady. Tom Brady got a good arm, bro. Tom Brady got a good arm. Now here's another one, Dilfer. Hey, listen, I said it. You can luck into a Super Bowl. Number one defense, they carry you all the way. You average 150 yards passing the game. You can potentially win a Super Bowl with goddamn 10 Hall of Famers on the defense. Hall of Fame coaches, right? Who was on that Ravens roster? Not just the roster, the coaching staff. Rex Ryan, Marvin Lewis. They had some. And then Ray Lewis at linebacker and all these other guys. And you had a great punt. You can do that. How consistent is it going to be? So listen. I'm just telling y'all, I'm going to be 100%. I'm going to keep it 100% authentic on here. You better hope Trey Lance is good. You better hope he's good. Because if he's not, the cycle continues. And every offseason, talk about Kyle Shanahan. Can he win the big game? That's what we're going to talk about. But anyways, let's talk about some of Kyle Shanahan's comments on the quarterback situation. Kyle Shanahan, Trey Lance looks the best he's ever looked from improved mechanics. So that was good to hear, right? Trey Lance has dealt with a lot. He talked about the finger. And I think we've heard about the finger with Trey Lance, but not the snowball effect of it. Because, with me and probably y'all as well, once you see a guy, throwing the ball, it's like, okay, he's good. He's healthy. So he broke his finger, whatever, on somebody's helmet. This happened his rookie year. And after breaking his finger, he changed his grip. I always say I'm going to have a football in here, and I don't have a football. But anyways, I don't know how many of y'all have hurt a finger. If you look at my hands right now, it's probably going to be hard to tell, but this finger is swollen. This finger right here is swollen. All right. And I smashed it lifting weights. All right. I smashed it in between the rack and the thing. But my job doesn't stop, right? I train athletes. I work with guys. I'm throwing balls. I'm catching balls. And smashed my finger. And I feel like I fractured it. I really feel like I fractured it. But anyways, or like a little hairline fracture or something. But I'm saying I ain't tripping on that. But anyways, throwing the ball to the kids that I work with, I had to change my grip. And I stopped kind of throwing with my finger a little bit. And I still throw like that right now because I still have some pain in this finger, right? It's still swollen. And Trey Lance essentially kind of dealt with something like that where he changed the grip of him throwing. And he threw like that, how can I just figure out how to get by and be able to throw a ball? And it messed up his throwing mechanics, etc. Right? So that whole year, he's doing whatever he can to kind of get by with just this kind of makeshift finger. And he goes into the offseason, then he's trying to rework his throwing with that hand and rehab it. It didn't heal right, etc. Because he's still out there playing. And then Kyle talked about how it kind of set him back because he's trying to rework this whole finger thing. And then next thing you know, we're here, we're live, and then he's throwing the ball, and it just wasn't quite the same. All right, it just wasn't quite the same. So he's trying to work through that, and then all of a sudden the season, then boom, he snaps his ankle. The tough thing with Trey Lance is in football, a lot of things happen from opportunity. And let's use Emmanuel Mosley, for example. Emmanuel Mosley was a practice squad cornerback, right? Practice squad guy, and he's playing his rookie year. He made the practice squad, got versatility, cool. Well, in his first live game on Thursday Night Football against the now Las Vegas Raiders, back then Oakland Raiders, he got in and like broke his arm or his elbow or something like that, right? First game that he's active for the year, rookie year, Emmanuel Mosley. Breaks his arm, does something on special teams early in the game. So now he's out for the rest of the year, okay? And then the next year he comes back and he's fighting for a spot. And now he makes the 53-man roster. Boom, man, I made it, right? And he's probably been good this whole time, but you kind of got to go through roster politics. So he makes it, and then Kelly Witherspoon's out there. Kelly Witherspoon, boom, goes down with an injury. Damn, okay, Spoon's down. But it's cool because you got Jason Verrett. Then Jason Verrett gets bombed on 2 straight plays. Boom, goes down with an injury. He's out for the rest of the year. Hey, now we got to go with practice squad cornerback Emmanuel Mosley. Mosley comes in and he plays very well. And from then on out, it was like Mosley is a starting level cornerback. All right. And he took advantage of a great opportunity because guys just kept going down. And I say the same thing about Brock Purdy, where he did an amazing job of taking advantage of an opportunity. Trey Lance, you want to break your ankle? Okay, now I'm active. Let's go. Jimmy Garoppolo, you break your foot? Okay, I'm ready for this moment. And he was ready, and he took full advantage of it, and he played some really good football. Played some really good football. Did some fun things, little high steps, you know what I'm saying? I'm him. He really reminds me, I talk about, Lakers a lot. He reminds me a lot of Austin Reeves, right? He's like Austin Reeves, however you want to put it. Austin Reeves is like the Brock Purdy of the NBA, where it's this guy that, you watch him and he does some things very well. Then he'll have these games and it's like, man, like, let's go, Austin Reeves. Then he has some other times I'm like, why is Austin Reeves out there, right? And watching Brock Purdy, you were able to kind of see some of that, not for an entire game, and I think that's what made him good. Like for a half, he'd have a weird half, and then next half is like, oh, okay, there we go, let's go, Brock Purdy. But he took advantage of an opportunity. And when you listen to Kyle Shanahan talk about it, he says, Trey Lance played the whole year. Feel like he would have gotten to that. Now again, that's speculation. Could he have? We don't know. But he said, man, I feel like Trey was going to get there. He played a whole year. He was going to get there, and we would have had a lot of success with him. But we only got one game to see it. Where Brock got 8 games or however many games it was and played well, and you got to see it. So where we want Trey to get to, Brock Purdy, he's just there, right? And there's way less unknown. All right. But when it comes to kind of this quarterback position, it was very interesting to kind of hear some of his thoughts on what I thought would be something that just didn't happen. But listening to Kyle talk about Trey, and that, best he's ever looked, and you hear that. Kyle doesn't really say things, in my opinion. Maybe I put too much stock in the things that Kyle Shanahan talks about or says. But Kyle, to me, he's a straight shooter. So if he says, this is the best that I've seen Trey look since he's been here, I kind of take that as Bible in the sense of that. Now, what the hell does that mean when you're not even really competing for anything? No, but it's just like from the mechanic standpoint, he looks good throwing the ball coming out of his hand. This is the best that has looked. Can he put it together on the field? Because we want him to be good. We see him being a guy long term. That's what we want. That's what we want. But can he do it? And then if it can start to look consistent, hey, man, we see him in OTAs, it looks good, then we go away for 50 days or whatever for the summer, then he comes back. If it looks like potentially what I think it can, I think there's a legit opportunity for a quarterback competition. And I did not see that coming. I didn't see that coming. Tig Brown in the chat, he says most offensive statement from you is turkey is trash. Y'all like turkey for real? Y'all like turkey for real? That's like I'm cool. And I don't listen. I feel like with turkey, if your comment about turkey, if somebody be like, "Hey, turkey's trash," right? Because I think turkey's pretty much trash, and the response is always, "Well, you didn't have the right person. You didn't have the right person cook it." Ah, bro, like why it gotta be so difficult? Ham is always good, no matter who cooks it. I don't want your dry ass turkey. Hey, the deep fried turkey, that's cool, but it still ain't better than him. Still ain't better than him. All right, still ain't better than him. I appreciate the chat. All right, that's the most offensive thing I've said, maybe. But anyways, it's gonna take a lot for Trey Lance to be the guy. But I will say, and I am good with Brock Purdy being the starter. I am good. But you better hope that Trey Lance starts. Because if he's not, we're going to keep having these same ass conversations every offseason. We're going to put it on other people, just like Kirk Cousins. In that situation, Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo, a good quarterback. There's always going to be somebody else to blame. There's always going to be somebody else to scapegoat because your quarterback he's not that. You feel me? And that just, it is what it is. Somebody said you can't win a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yeah, sure. I saw 49ers up 10 in the Super Bowl. But guess what? On the other side of the ball was a guy that can okay, I need to make this play in this moment. I got you. I got that. I got that. All right. And we saw them up 10 against the Rams. And it was just like, Jimmy, we just need you to make a play. They tightening down. They're doing these things. Okay, just need to make a play. Make a couple throws. Sorry, Croc. I'm just not that guy. Just not that guy. And I see somebody in the chat. I just saw it. The chat's kind of going fast. But somebody said, well, Croc, Trey's not that guy. Hey, Trey might not be that guy. But what I'm telling you is, you better hope he is. You better hope he is. All right, I'm going to open up the chat right now. Come on live. Let's talk about it. Hey, man, 100% authenticity. That's what we need to name this show now. 100% authenticity. I could barely say it. I'm not going to name the show that. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat right now. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. All that good stuff. Or as my daughter would say, how she said, subscribe to this video. Subscribe to this video. Hey, 187, you could be good with Purdy. And guess what? I'm good with Purdy too. I am good with Purdy. I'm good with Purdy. I'm good with Purdy. But you're gonna keep looking for that guy, I'm trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you. Before we get into the callers that's on right now, I didn't get a chance to really bring it up, but I wanted to ask y'all real quick. How about those motherfucking Lakers? Huh? I probably shouldn't do it. We got over 330 people in here right now, and I've lost I don't know how many subscribers or followers on YouTube. But listen. First of all, if you can't take the heat, get the fuck out the kitchen. All right. I heard all the talk. All when the Lakers 13th seed and everybody turning their nose up at the Lakers and they can't do this, they can't do that. And I'm like, look, y'all, look what we got going on right now, man. We traded, we got, you know what I'm saying? And we started winning some games. It's like, you guys aren't even a playing team. You got to be a playing team. Well, you can barely make the playoff, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, look, y'all don't see what's going on. Like, look how well we played since the trade deadline. Look how well we played. And they're like, nah, like, you guys, blah, 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 blah. You can't do this. You can't do that. And I hear the most from the Warrior fans. And listen, I ain't got no real beef with the Warrior fans. All right. But y'all turn y'all nose up. And then, like anybody else, right? There's people that talk trash. And I always tell people, right? One time I had to beat up my sister baby daddy, right? And my sister baby daddy, he was talking all this stuff. He was texting me. He was talking crazy, right? In the text messages. And I told my sister baby daddy, I said, look, I hear you. But one day you're gonna have to live out what you're talking about. One day you're gonna have to live that out. And that one day came and didn't go too well for Buddy. All right, he's missing teeth as we speak. We're on my kids. All right, so basically what I'm saying is you can do all this and all that, but at one point you got to talk about the stuff you say you claim to be about. And the Warrior fans, they talk all that, and then when it got hot, when it got hot, when it got real, what they do, man, they folded. Y'all didn't stay 10 tones down. Y'all made excuses. Y'all say this and that, and this is the reason for this. Now this is some conspiracy theory that they want a Lakers versus Celtics. No, you guys just weren't that good. You're terrible on the road. Play bad basketball. Turn the ball over too much. Your dudes is getting old. It is what it is. 100% authenticity today. Let's go. Sean in the chat says $10 to say stop lying. Ham is always good. What? He has some dry. You have some dry ham? And he's from North Carolina? How you got dry ham? I didn't even know there was, like, to be honest, bro, I didn't know there was such thing as dry ham. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't know that was a real thing. I didn't know that was a real thing. I appreciate the super chat for sure. Appreciate that. I didn't know that was a real thing. Ham? Dry ham? What? With healthy Purdy and this roster, you have just as good a chance as any team to win the Super Bowl. The difference is sustainability. Mahomes gives you 10 years of contending. The roster only gives you 3 to 5. And I always look at there were some weird times with the 49ers that you could say, oh, man, like, this guy. Remember week 1, 2020? 49ers played the Arizona Cardinals, right? And everybody, 49ers are going to beat Arizona or whatever, right? You had little Kyler Murray running around. And 49ers lost that game. And I remember thinking, well, yeah, the reason why 49ers lost, well, Brandon Ayuk didn't play, Deebo Samuel didn't play, and it just hurt the quarterback. And that's just it right there. When you got the Jimmy G's of the world, and you're missing that, like you're missing Ayuk, and you're missing Deebo Samuel, it hurts you deeply. It hurts you deeply. It hurts you deeply. Now, we say Mahomes. That's tough because it's like, well, who else is Mahomes? Right? There's not many Mahomes. But I've watched some other guys, and it's just like the drop-off is not drastic. It's not drastic. Honey glazed ham. Can't wait for Thanksgiving. All right, here we go. I got Tia. Tia, good morning. How you doing?
Yes, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I just want to let you know that today we're talking 100% authenticity. So, you gotta be 100% authentic today.
Okay, I got you. Okay, first off on the Lakers, we diehard Lakers, Kobe fans. So what changed the series was Schroeder. The Lakers need to pay Schroeder. The
Oh,
defense
listen,
that he played
let's go.
the entire series, they need to stop playing. Stop playing. Schroeder changed the entire series with his defense.
He did.
So
There are a lot
people
of
just
people
got to
that
recognize.
I posted a picture of him on Instagram, and I was just like, basically we on to the next. And with Dennis Schroeder, one thing about him, man, he plays his role, and he might be an antagonist. He does do the little flopping and whatnot, right? That's part of his little thing. But he gonna knock down a shot here and there. He
He
gonna
Derek
play
Fisher.
some good defense. He gonna pick up Curry full court, right? He gonna drive. He gonna get a couple buckets. He might only score 10. Might get a couple flops go his way, but at the end of the day, he plays his role to a very high level. So shout out to Dennis Schroeder. I like that. Like, thank you for bringing
Right. Yeah, they need to. Yeah, he's the Derek Fisher that we need
him.
for LeBron to
Mm.
help him out. That's
Okay.
how I feel.
Okay.
But for the Niners, I agree with everything you said about. I think when people say that, when people take up for Trey Lance, I think people think we are bashing Purdy. That's not the case. I'm with you. I think he's just a better version of Jimmy. Jimmy not a bad quarterback. It's just you, like you said, like with AR-15. He played good, and then you're like, well, why would you do that? That's just stupid. That just don't make no sense. So it's like you get good with Purdy, and then you like, towards the end, during the playoffs, you kind of saw, okay, I see the limitations. If you have a good defense in front of him, like the Dallas game, it was a completely different Purdy. He was running for his life. They was chasing him. He looked confused and flustered during that game. So I just think that even with the injury now, you really don't know what he will be like, regardless, because that's an injury. He hasn't had any time to really work on whatever he needed to work on. And now we just expect him to be the same person that he was last year. So I just hope that people would just, I think we just need to see Trey Lance and Sam Darnold really
Well,
see what
I'll
they got.
just say this. Yeah, but with Purdy, right? And again, you don't know how he's going to come back from the injury.
Right.
But he also was a rookie. So I say
Yes.
these things about kind of what I've seen just from an ability standpoint. And there are things where I'm just like, you better hope that Trey Lance is good. But with he was a rookie. So, hey, man, you never know. There could be a much even better version of Purdy, right? This is a guy that came in right away off the bench, cold. It looked good. The offense was moving. That's probably the best I've seen the offense look, especially on a consistent basis. He's scoring touchdowns, like all that stuff. It looked good, right? I look at this other aspect of it that's like something that you might have to worry about down the line. But in the moment, there was good stuff. And yeah, you look at the Cowboys game and certain things, and okay, you look at areas where he could improve, but man, big moments, things like that. He's young. In the inexperience of playing in the NFL, I do think that there's a scenario where, hey, maybe he's even better next year. I could see that happening as well. And when I say next year, I mean like this year coming up. But yeah, the elbow thing, and we'll see. I don't want to speculate too much because they make it seem like, no, he's gonna come back. He's gonna be good. So if that's what they say, then I'm good with that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm just worried that now that teams got a chance to really look at him and see what he can do and what he can't do, that's what I'm more worried about because the schedule ain't hard. Everybody we playing this year has a defense. Defense hits people. So I just think that we just need to be realistic about it and not have these expectations because to me it seemed like we're going through the same thing we did with Jimmy. Jimmy did good for them 8 games, and then all of a sudden, when we start playing real teams, where we have an expectation of where we need to win, Jimmy did look a little flustered. And he was a veteran, playing, in the system a while, and teams started planning for him. So I just hope that we just either we need to temper our expectations with Purdy because, like you said, he was a rookie last year. Now he really didn't have an off season, but if you're gonna start him, have that same energy that you have with when Jimmy was out there, where if he started looking bad, that we need to what we doing. Are we just gonna ride with him and we just go 1 for 4 and we cool with it, or are we gonna say okay, we need to see what Trey got?
Right. All
Because
right.
we can't keep having seasons where we start 1 and 4 and then we take off. Because I don't think these teams in this division and NFC, I mean, everybody has gotten better outside of Arizona and the Rams, but
Right.
all the other
Arizona
teams haven't
actually
gotten
did get
better.
better with just having Kyler Murray.
Right, but they haven't. But they don't have Kyler Murray. So
He was. But Tia, I got to get to the next caller because we got a bunch
okay,
of guys lined up. I kind of got to get out here in 13 minutes. So I'm gonna get to the next caller now. Appreciate Tia coming on real quick. I had some comments that I wanted to kind of address here. First one, someone said Lance is elite. The answer is no, but Lance does have big time ability. So is he elite? No. Big time ability, 100%. Most talented quarterback on the 49ers roster, 100%. 187. Did Jimmy Garoppolo give up 21 points in 6 minutes? The answer to that is yes and no. No, because he does not play defense. Yes, he did because he could not get a first down. Like he could not do something to stop the bleeding. It's okay, we're just going to go 3-and-out, or we're going to go 3-and-out, or I'm going to make the wrong throw, or I'm going to make this read. I could not make the play to get the first down and keep the clock going. So, did he give up 21 points? Yes and no. And then we got Sean here, and he says it's like watching Dumb and Dumber and being mad that it's dumb. And he's referring back to earlier in the conversation, me talking about Napoleon Dynamite and being a bad movie. And a lot of people say it's a classic, and I think it's uh, a classically bad movie. Like it's so bad that it's funny, but it's still bad. But it's supposed to be bad, kind of like Dumb and Dumber. I like that. I like that. All right, here we go. For the last group of people, y'all come on. You got everybody's gonna have 2 minutes. So I'm gonna hit the actual timer and then be like, all right, we got 2 minutes, and y'all go ahead and anything that I've said, if there's things you want to push back on, whatever it is, the floor is yours. The floor will be yours. So everybody's gonna have 2 minutes, and you'll actually hear like the buzzer go off when your 2 minutes is up. All right, or I'll just hit a button when the 2 minutes is up. Whatever. You get what I'm saying. All right, here we go. First guy up, my guy Shunder Boy. Shunder Boy. Good morning. How you doing,
How's
man?
it going, Croc?
Oh man, I'm
Good.
chilling.
How are you doing this morning?
I am having a great day. Woke
All
up,
right.
had a
So,
and all that good stuff. But go ahead.
no, okay. So, a couple things. First and foremost, we got 330 people in here. How many likes? We got to stop this nonsense, y'all. We get hit the like button. There's 300 y'all in here. So, use your finger, hit the button. Okay. Okay. So now that that's out of the way, okay. Let me just make something very clear for the record. I am still 10 toes down with the Warriors. I don't care what happened. Congratulations to the Lakers. You called it. You stayed 10 toes down. You get to have your head up and you get to do all the shit talk. And we just have to kind of sit here and take it. It is what it is.
Just start following me on
Don't be
Twitter.
a baby about it.
I didn't block nobody.
Uh-huh.
I ain't block anybody. I ain't follow nobody. Nothing. But the Warrior fans started unfollowing me though because they couldn't take the heat. They couldn't take the heat. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So, real quick, I need to disagree a little bit. I love the takes that Tia has when she comes on here. Am I frozen? Because you're frozen on your screen there. Am I good?
I got you good.
Okay. So, I totally understand what she's saying and what she's getting at, but there's I feel like people are trying to paint a picture, but they're using the wrong brush. And what I mean by that is, okay, so does Trey Lance have a better arm than Brock Purdy? Obviously. Okay. How many quarterbacks with a really good arm and physical skill set, but are average quarterbacks, have failed as compared to really good quarterbacks with an average skill set? Significantly more quarterbacks overperform and outperform like it's if you look at the NFL, or even over the last 10 years, you don't even have to go that far back in history. The quarterbacks who are better quarterbacks but have limited arms. Now, I'm not talking about the top 4 or 5 guys. Okay, you can't. Everybody thinks that they can just go get Patrick Mahomes. No, you can't. He's a fucking unicorn. Sorry for the language. Okay, so like this idea that you can just go get a guy with this crazy physical skill set and he's going to be a better quarterback. You have to be a quarterback first. You have to be good at quarterback. And people need to stop comparing Brock Purdy to Jimmy Garoppolo. They have very different games, very different, and the awareness, their ability to see what's not there in a play when Kyle Shanahan maybe doesn't call right, it's night and day. It's not the same. So we've got to stop trying to drive this narrative and try to fit these pegs in these holes when they don't line up. Anyway, so I don't want to take up too much time. I just, you do such an amazing job with this show, and the people that come on and like complain, like, can we just get to the Niners talk, bruh? Like, we're going to. But the whole point of this is like, we're going to come together. We're going to be a community. We're going to be positive. We're going to throw up 5 flames, and we're going to do this. We're going to have a great conversation, whether we agree or not. Okay. So I don't want to speak for you, but like, if you can't stand 5 minutes of, hey, this is what's going on in my life, you're just in the wrong space. Right. So I just want to say I really appreciate everything that you do for all of us. We've got to get those likes up, but I'm disturbed by how many people are trying to fit pegs into holes where they don't belong. It's just because he's a 6 foot tall white guy doesn't mean that he's Jimmy Garoppolo. He has better scramble ability. He has way better touch when throwing on the run. Jimmy Garoppolo, he was okay sometimes, but he missed a lot when throwing on the run. And Brock Purdy doesn't miss the stuff the defense gives you. Jimmy Garoppolo played terrific in structure. When Jimmy Garoppolo, when Kyle Shanahan dialed it up and the play is there, Jimmy Garoppolo hit it. He's very accurate. He would throw in these crazy tight windows over the middle. He would have guys coming right at him, and he'd do just like little turn away flick throw.
I'm gonna ask one question,
Man.
guy, and I'm gonna get you off. All right.
Yeah.
Last question.
Okay.
All right. And then just answer it real quick, guy. Like 20 seconds to answer.
Yep.
Then we'll get to the next caller.
You got it.
All right. So the question is, do you think that we're undervaluing the pressure that Christian McCaffrey took off of the offense when the 49ers traded for him? So we talk about a lot of the good that Purdy has done. Do you think there's a direct correlation between getting Christian McCaffrey and what the offense looked like with him, even under Jimmy Garoppolo? Because it started taking off with Jimmy when, after that Chiefs game, they went on that run, right? So do you think there's something to it, even with Brock Purdy and the success that he had, where it's like, hey, at the end of the day, I don't got to do, I can just dump it off to Christian McCaffrey?
So I'm on the road. I don't have the stat in front of me. I believe it's 11 points per game under Purdy as opposed to under Jimmy, even with CMC. CMC definitely had a huge impact on the offense. I've made that clear since we talked 30 seconds after the trade. He definitely helped out the offense. He made Jimmy a way better quarterback. Brock Purdy took that to another level because he's a better quarterback. And the idea that he's not getting enough of an offseason and that Kyle Shanahan's not going to throw him out there with no offseason, he just did the same thing last year. He got no reps as a third string quarterback, and he came in and he diced from day one. So to think that they won't put him out there without enough of an offseason, they already did that once.
All right. All right. Appreciate you coming on, Shun the Boy. I'm going to get you off now. Thank you. All right. Shout out to my guy, Shun the Boy. Went over the time just a little bit, but Gammon Brown is on now. Gammon, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Doing great, brother. Doing great. Yeah, please, everybody hit those likes and subscribe. Look, I'm going to real quickly gloss over perception. Perception is that Purdy has a high floor, low ceiling. Lance has a high ceiling, but also too he has a lower floor just of everything that he has to do. Last time that I spoke, I said that Purdy is who you want during the regular season. Lance is who you want during the playoffs. I also too referred to that with Sabonis is who you want in the regular season. When you're going up against a myriad of different teams, some playoff teams, some not, right? Just your run of the mill versus Anthony Davis is who you want in the playoffs. People are going to talk.
The example there is that because Anthony Davis, there's already a certain level of stardom that he has reached as opposed to Trey Lance. But I do get what you're saying.
Right. Just the ability to raise and elevate your team during some of the most crucial parts when the team is 100% zeroing in on their assignments and what they need to do as far as their keys to victory, instead of just going like, this is what we do and how we play well and that sort of thing. Look, whenever we compare, so last time also too, or like a couple times when I was on, what I did was I compared Brock Purdy in the 7th round comparative to the 7th round pick that was in the Miami Dolphins, because I felt that was kind of fair seeing that body of work. When I'm looking at Trey Lance, I'm going to compare his first 4 starts versus what his peers that were drafted in that same class, what they did respectively in their first 4 starts. So I have a lot of respect for Trey Lance's game. Also, too, I really like the way that CMC looked when he was with Cam Newton. I think that we could have something very, very dangerous. CMC took a lot of pressure off of the 49ers offense. I think that Trey Lance can take a lot of pressure off of CMC. There's another thing that's not being talked about. And then while I still got 30 seconds left, Croc, who's your favorite football team?
49ers.
Who's your favorite baseball team?
San Francisco Giants.
Who's your favorite basketball team?
Los Angeles Lakers.
College football team?
USC.
Favorite college favorite college basketball team?
UCLA.
Croc, you have more teams in different area codes than Ludacris has hoes, Croc. What's next? Is your NHL team going to be the Winnipeg Jets? Jets, Jets. I love you, Croc. Thank you for your time.
Sharks. I'm a Sharks fan. So it's kind of even.
At least you keep it in Cali. But I want to do that for the Warriors fans. So I know just want to give you like a good ribbing and say like, why aren't you a Rams fan and everything like that. But appreciate your time.
Well, you see me, I get it on social media. So
it's savage. Yeah. Congratulations on making it to 13,000 subscribers. The way you're going after the Warriors fans, I didn't think it was going to happen. But look at you. They seem to like the abuse. So I think that's why you're using the spicing technique. It's working for you.
Keep it going. I got to keep it going. Appreciate you coming on, Gammon.
All right, bro.
All right, here we go. Next up, got my guy, Young Joe. Driving trucks right now. I see you got the dog. Is that a dog in the background? That looks like a big – what is that?
Yeah, that's I got a Mastiff. Oh, she snuck up on the bed. Yeah, that's my baby girl doula right there.
Okay, out there chilling on the road with you. That's what's up. Eyes on the road, though. Eyes on the road.
Hey, yes, sir. And normally I got my dad with me, and my dad's from Stockton, so we'll be watching your stream all the time. I always want to send that 209 love to you, man.
Oh, man, you already know. Where your dad from in Stockton?
He's from the east side.
Okay, east side, yep.
Yeah, Washington's, the Washington family. That's my family from out there.
Okay, I know from Washington's, yep.
Yes, sir. I don't want to take up too much of the time. I know you got 2 minutes. I just want to comment on this whole quarterback situation. Agree and disagree with some of the people. Other dude that was in here, I was a Warrior fan. I respect him, but fuck you, dog. Warriors are out. I'm a Kings fan. It's the only time I'm root for the Lakers because I think we can unite in this. Them Warriors need to go, bro. We need to go back to 2010 Warriors where y'all was dog shit, man. But what he was saying about Purdy, like Purdy is a good quarterback. He's definitely better than Jimmy G, but Jimmy G's bottom tier, Brock's mid, and then you got the top tier guys. Trey can be a top tier guy. As Niner fans, we got a problem with needing to see good quarterback play that as soon as we see something good, we're going to latch onto it. And that's why a lot of us are latching on to Brock Purdy because he gave us what we wanted to see, what we've been needing to see, especially coming from Jimmy G. But I think that people are forgetting the little bit that we saw from Trey in those 4 games. People like to discount the Texans because they were the Texans, but people also forget that they were the number 9 passing defense at the time that we played against them. And Trey was making some plays that was crazy. Lowering balls in places where they shouldn't be paused, in places where they shouldn't be going, but and just doing incredible things that we haven't seen from Jimmy or Brock. Brock's had some crazy throws, yes, but like you said, he's had McCaffrey on the team, and when you could throw the ball 5 yards to McCaffrey, and McCaffrey's going to do crazy stuff, it's a little bit easier. Just keeping it 100, keeping it real. Brock Purdy was great, but it was easy for him because of the cast. So I think people just need to chill on Brock, let him heal, let him get the week 5, and make sure the arm's 110% ready to go. And also give Trey his space, time, and opportunity to actually show him what he can bring to our team. Because with the little bit that we did see, he was crazy. He was getting the fans hyped. Everybody but Flav, So just don't sleep on Trey. Let him get his chance. And yeah, I ain't gonna take up too much of your time, man. 209 love, baby. Cali love. I appreciate you, bro. Like, comment, and subscribe on this video too.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Shout out to my guy, Young Joe. Let's go. Let's go. Trey doesn't do the easy stuff consistently. So Damon, I hear you. And again, and I don't know. I know what I've seen. And yeah, there definitely is a lack of consistency to his game. Can he do it? Like, is that something that's just like never going to be something he does? Or hey, man, you know what? Third game in a row, 4th game in a row, if he can get to that point, right? He's starting to do those things. And I watched him against Seattle coming out, and it was like, man, he started off doing some of the easy things. The quick little out route to Brandon Ayuk. He turns upfield, 30-yard gain, 0 blitz, somebody in his face. He has to get the ball out accurate to the running back. He did that, and then he broke his ankle. So hopefully he does learn to do those things a little bit more, hopefully. And if he doesn't, he won't be an NFL quarterback. Simple as that. All right, here we go. Real quick, got my guy Twin on here. Twin Maker was good, man.
What up, man? Big up to my Dub Nation in here, you know what I'm saying? We've been taking this beat down from you. It's all good. We're going to take it like a man. We ain't going nowhere, though.
Yeah. Hey, I after today, I'm done with it. After today, I'm done with it. Because it was fun while it lasted, and it was like, hey, man, like, our teams are actually playing against each other. But now it's over with, and today I had to let them hear it a little bit, and then tomorrow, hey, man, we on to Denver, man. We ain't worried about the Warriors no more.
For sure, I got you. So, hey, I'm throwing my little 2 cents too on this Trey Lance matter, man. Like, people gotta stop faking the funk. We know first thing first. Kyle Shanahan is not a first quarter, like a first half of the football season type of coach. We've seen this consecutively. You know what I'm saying? We seem to forget that we had these new players getting together and had an opportunity to gel. And then you begin to see them not only prosper with Jimmy Garoppolo, but then also with who? Brock Purdy. But also we're negating one of the biggest things that the 49ers have had an issue with throughout the whole entirety of Kyle Shanahan. We had pretty much a healthy offense. We don't usually have healthy offense throughout the entirety of the season. The back half of the season, our offense was healthy, and so we was able to click. So when your boy came in there, Brock Purdy, he had a well-oiled machine already going in a defense that was humming too. A lot of people, you're a defensive player. A lot of people don't put this into perspective. When you play defense, it changes the field position as well. So whenever you are getting the football, depending on how your punt coverage and your special team is, you playing with a shortened field, and you also get an opportunity to not necessarily have to call as many plays because the defense is putting you in a position to score easily. And so, therefore, Brock Purdy had the opportunity to not only have a great defense where Kyle could trust the play calling, but then also the defense was scoring, turning the ball over. We wasn't a big turnover team as well. We used to sit there and say, man, why we don't never get turnovers? But last year we did. And so all these things happen to happen in play for us to be successful as a team. We'll be kind of naive to believe that this same thing would repeat itself for the next 2 to 3 years. We're going to have somebody who will be a force multiplier that can up the game of all the individuals on our team, especially when some of these guys begin to age, especially when people begin to key in on CMC. We're going to have to stretch the field vertically as well, but then also throw the ball outside the hashes. So these defensive coordinators are going to begin to learn how to shell off their defense to make sure that Brock Purdy get to throw in places where he don't like to throw. And we know with Trey Lance, his arm ability or his arm talent allows him to touch every blade of the grass on that field. But then also he has the opportunity to where people got to worry about him running the ball as well. So I think there's a more diverse playbook. You have more options, and then you can have more things to do when the defense switch certain things with Trey Lance as the quarterback. That doesn't mean Brock Purdy isn't a good guy or a good quarterback, but he's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? He's a mid quarterback. I think he can do it. He can do excellent with everything around him that's great. And so we got to realize that we can't get too gun ho on believing that he's the solver of all problems. You see what I'm saying? So that's my opinion on how this Trey Lance and this not Jimmy Garoppolo, but your boy Brock Purdy's situation gonna be.
All right, man. We're gonna see. We're gonna keep an eye on that, man. Twin, you gotta call him more often, bro.
For sure. Hey, Dub Nation, though, my guy.
I respect it. All right, man. Shout out to the Warrior fans out there, man. I really do have a lot of fun with y'all. All right, shout out to Tia. She contributed with a $2 donation. Let's go. We put up Damon's there, and then there was another one that I wanted to discuss here. It says locker room already chose their QB1. I'll say this. Now listen, I ain't gonna act like I had this long illustrious NFL career. I did not. All right, but in the short time that I was in the league, the one thing that I got to see was Geno Smith. Geno Smith was drafted with Mark Sanchez there. Y'all remember back then, like Mark Sanchez went to back-to-back AFC championship games. And, then they lost a couple years, and then boom, they draft Geno Smith. And when people talk about like the quarterback and the locker room chose a quarterback, in the locker rooms I've been a part of, the players I don't think they care as much about certain things as the fans think. So with the Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, things like that, they'll get behind a guy. All you got to do is win. And if you win, guess what? They'll choose the next guy. They really do not care. Just can we win games? And if we can win games with this guy, great. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. Okay. All right. And once you show you can do that, then yeah, they'll get behind that. And if Trey Lance comes out, and let's say, hypothetically speaking, it's very hypothetical, but Trey Lance or Brock Purdy has to miss 3 games, right? They want to make sure 100% healthy, hasn't had that, whatever, right? And Trey Lance wins 3 games. Guess what happened? The locker room would choose Trey Lance. Like, they do not care. They don't care. All they want to do is win. That's all they care about. And I saw that firsthand with the Sanchez and Geno thing. It's like, and just listening to how they were talking about that whole dynamic. Guys like me, I ain't had no say in any of it anyways. I'm just trying to make a roster. But these other guys, even the higher up guys, it was not as big of a talking point as it was in the media. Now, Jets, big time market there, and they definitely were every day when I be eating breakfast, I look up and I see Sao Paulo Antonio at the Jets facility on ESPN. Now I look out the window and I see Sao Paulo Antonio recording, just reporting on the other quarterback, Tim Tebow, right? Oh, Tim Tebow, what's he gonna do? Mark Sanchez, Geno Smith, how's it gonna go? But inside the building, it's not nearly as loud as people think. Everybody's kind of cool. So they have chosen a quarterback in the sense of, hey man, we win with Brock Purdy, cool. But I'm telling you, all it takes is a few games and say, hey, we win with this guy, cool. They don't care to the extent of, I think, as much fans think. EMA Beats. I got a question for you, bro. Oh, he's on mute. You gotta unmute yourself. All right, so we'll see. Oh, there we go. So I got a question for you.
I know this.
What's the question?
What does EMA stand for?
Oh, hold on. Your audio is like going in and out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's like it's kind of like that. That's the best way I could describe it. I'm not trying to be funny.
You hear better now?
No, it's the same thing. Try to go out and then come back in.
All right.
All right. All right. So we're gonna get EMA Beats back in here and see what exactly happened. See what's up with his mic. But yeah. Hey, listen. That was one thing I noticed, man. Dudes is winning. NFL dudes do not care. They just want, hey, man, win games. So you do hear a lot of that, like, oh, the players, they like this guy. And you can get closer to a certain guy. But, shoot, I mean, in all my time playing ball, too, a lot of these guys are really trying to control what they can control. And most of the time, it's not who's starting that quarterback. The guys I've been around or the teams I've been around. It's just, can we win? I done seen guys get benched, quarterbacks get benched. I done seen this and that, it's all a business. But ultimately, it just comes down to, oh, okay, we can win with him. My not my rookie in the Arena League, my third year in the Arena League, the quarterback was Darren Thomas at first. Darren Thomas, he was a quarterback at Oregon, and so Darren Thomas was a quarterback at first, and then they switched to somebody else, and they was like, I don't care, we're gonna win. And that was one of the leaders on the team. Did not matter. Who's gonna help us win? That's ultimately like the biggest thing. So right now they feel like, hey man, we done won games with Brock Purdy. Or first it was, hey, we won games with Jimmy Garoppolo. That's our guy. Oh man, win games with Brock Purdy? Cool, let's go. That's my guy. You win with anybody, bro. They're gonna get behind them. I promise you. They do not care. They do not care. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. We're gonna see if we get EMA Beats back on here. If not, I gotta cut. I got some women I gotta train in a few minutes. But shout out to everybody. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I'm still working on cutting that audio from my daughter where she said that. It was pretty cool. So I gotta get that next time. Hopefully we go live tomorrow and we can talk about that. Shout out to all 320 people of y'all that's in the chat right now. Let's go. Let's go. The fans don't want to win games with Trey. You know what? I don't think it's that. I'd say this. A lot like the fans or the players, the fans, if you win games, I don't think they care. So Trey Lance just wins. I don't think the fans care if it's Trey or Brock or whoever. I think for a lot of people, fans, players, etc., they just see it. Now, here's the part that's not on the fans or maybe things that I try to put into perspective. Or it's more so on the front office, but what goes into, if you're not there yet, what goes into getting to that point where you're winning, right? And everybody might be different. I'm very curious to see what the Colts do with Anthony Richardson. I want to see how they bring Anthony Richardson along. As a fan, I just want the 6th ring. And I listen, man, I agree. It's been a long time. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We will come back tomorrow. Most likely tomorrow. All right. I appreciate everybody's in the chat. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. 100% authenticity. That's what we're going to bring here. I promise. Dude, my days, it gets so weird. Then by the time it's late, but I'm going to try to get this uploaded to the actual audio streaming platform, and then we're going to try to keep that going. Shout out to my guy Damon in the chat. He says the only people who flip faster than the locker room if a quarterback wins is the fans. He's 100% right on that. All right. But appreciate everybody. Love everybody. Love all the 49ers. And we are out. Peace. Go Lakers.